Live from the City of Angels. It's Thursday night. Our box office preview show is underway. A little late tonight. I just sat through all 4 hours of The Two Towers. The best, by far, of the 3 Lord of the Rings films. Wow. That battle sequence, I would say, is the greatest ever in the history of cinema. But we're here live now, and we're ready to talk about today, of course, the Oscars. We had that very early stream this morning where I went through each category. Thanks to Scott Menzel joining us this morning live for an hour and a half as we broke that down. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch that. Tonight, we're going to go through the 5 biggest snubs that I have on my board, okay? Now, these might not be your snubs, and this is where you're going to come in. You're going to tell me what you think were the biggest snubs today as we got the news of all nominees here as we're on the road to Oscar finally. Man, it's been a long time, right? We talked about this way back in October that we'd be talking about these films for an eternity. And we are. And we're continuing here tonight. In the background, we're going to get to why you hear what you hear in just a short while. It's one of our 5, and it's incoming here. But let's start with my number 5 snub of the Oscar nominations 2026. And the reason it's number 5, right, as we go down and progress to number 1, we're talking about the most egregious when we get there. So number 5 is something that I would have loved to see. I didn't expect to see, and it didn't happen. But it still needs to be stated that Twinless is far too strong a film to end up with 0 Oscars nominations. When you look at this film, you're talking about a screenplay. Right there, just focus on that. One of the best of this past year. You can also throw in performances on this. I would argue direction. Across the board, Twinless is easily one of the best films of the year. And to not even have it really a chance to get in, that is disturbing, frankly. And we live in this world, right, where it's all about narratives. And all you need is a push to get something all of a sudden viewed as this legitimate Oscars contender. But where was everybody for Twinless? We were banging that drum from the moment we saw the film. And it's a huge disappointment that so many people let this film down. And it's more than just a Spirit Awards film. It is an Oscars film. Our number 5 snub is Twinless. Number 4 is Jesse Plemons in Begonia. Now, here's what I'm going to say. As we talk about this in particular, I'm going to pull up. The Academy finally got their website to update, and they have it for us here. When you look at the 5 nominees that got in instead of Jesse Plemons, we talk about it. Timothée Chalamet, who should be the winner, deserves to be the winner. This is a role that was written for him, and it is perfect for him, and he pulled it off to perfection. He should be your winner here. So I don't have a problem with Chalamet. DiCaprio, you know he's getting in. I don't think it's his best performance. I think it's one of his weaker ones because of the writing. One Battle After Another is hellaciously overrated, and we know why. Because PTA. Because the space is full of people that value the past filmography of directors more than the current film they're watching. You throw that all out, and you only evaluate what's in front of you. But Leo was getting in. And it's DiCaprio. He never misses, so I don't have a problem with Leo. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon. Go back to our evaluation of that film. He is that film. I don't have a problem with Ethan Hawke here. So see why Plemons is not our number 1, because so far I don't have anyone that I'm like, well, this person doesn't belong. Okay. We go to Michael B. Jordan. And as much as I think, just like One Battle, Sinners is hella overrated, I still don't have a problem with Michael B. Jordan playing two roles. And if it's something that you're going to extract from that film, I do not have an issue with Michael B. Jordan. And we get to Wagner Moura, and I didn't finish Secret Agent, as I told you guys. Again, another tonal film for me, too expansive for me, lost my interest for me. So, but again, what I saw out of him, certainly better than what I saw in Civil War. Okay. So again, if I had to switch one out, I'm taking Plemons over Moura. That's not going to happen though. As we saw last year with Brazilian films, this is a big deal, and it is a big deal for ratings. Why do you think it also got into Best Picture? The Academy can make things happen, okay? I'm not saying he doesn't belong. I'm just saying it is good for business. But Plemons is who I would have there, at least at the number 5 spot, one of the best performances of the year. And Begonia, thank goodness it did get in for Best Picture, because it is the best, without any doubt, of the most recent Yorgos Lanthimos films, the past 3. It is number 1, very clear on that. Our number 3 snub for this morning, Oscars 2026 nominations. Some of you aren't going to like this, but it's true, because we talk about all the time the ability to extract things from films. So even if you didn't like Wicked for Good, Ariana Grande deserves to be amongst the top 5 actresses in a supporting role. Now, who would I remove? Amy Madigan from Weapons. You guys know how I feel about that. Not a fan of that film. Again, Warner Brothers, the trifecta of hellaciously overrated films, with a Sinners, a One Battle, and a Weapons. Thank God Weapons didn't get in for anything else. It doesn't deserve to, okay? Again, listen, it's not that I think Zach doesn't have talent. I just don't understand where this whole narrative of Zach Cregger all of a sudden being on a level of a Scorsese came from. It's literally like, do you guys notice how these things just kind of occur through PR and through film Twitter? The shills out there that really don't know what they're saying, but they're so fucking loud, and they're just like, this movie is just, and they don't even come on. Why do we have to live in a world with these people that are making these things happen that shouldn't be happening? And Amy Madigan should be absolutely swapped out for Ariana Grande. When you look at Ariana Grande, she's better in 2 than in 1. She grows into the role. My issue with Ariana going forward, forget about this snub here tonight. I just don't know what I see her capable of doing. I feel like she was so good as the ditzy, right, princess / wizard / right, all that. And when you look at her, you just wonder, what's she going to be able to do when she gets to the next role? I don't know. We're going to find out, because she'll get other opportunities. I'm just definitely a little bit leery of what we can do beyond being the good witch. I guess we'll find out. But she deserved to be here. 100%. Now, our number 2, back to what you heard off the top, and I'm going to bring some of it in right now. You guys know how I feel about score. Score is one of the most important aspects of film. So if you do not have the ability to extract a score from a film and understand that it is easily one of the best scores of the year, I've got 2 for you here that did not make the top 5. And this is going to piss me off. It is Surratt, and it's Marty Supreme. You've got, a lot of you haven't seen Surratt yet. Trust me, You're hearing it in the background. When you see that film, the score is everything. So here's the thing, right? How are we able to extract things like Rose Byrne in the... Oh my God, did you guys watch If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You? Talk about a tonal cringe fest. That film is so bad, man, I'm telling you. But we were able to extract her because she's good, even though the film makes you want to just get up and leave. I can't believe I didn't. We can do that. We can take Rose out of that film. That's unwatchable, I would argue. But we can't take the score out of Surratt. We can't take the score out of Marty Supreme. OPN again with another banger for the Safdies. This time just one of them. The Academy is so stuck in their old school ways, especially when it comes to score, right? What do you notice about both of these? Very Tangerine Dream-esque. First one, techno. You know, you're talking about something that isn't really the norm, right? They love the big, stringy stuff that's just played out and been there, done that so many times. This is... Guys, listen. And not only that, Marty Supreme and Surratt are both awards films. Surratt got a Best International Feature nomination. So it's not like they weren't familiar with the film. And then you listen here to Marty Supreme. You have to get this right. And if there's one thing that I'd be able to do is I would come in, I would actually give you the 5 score nominees. I would do it myself. I don't need anyone else. I want all you out of the room. We're going to get this done, and I get it right every time. Listen, what do I go back to every time? Empire of Light. Empire of Light score, Reznor Ross, one of the greatest of that year. It's one of their better scores. But because Empire of Light wasn't an awards film, well, then it didn't make it. We got to get past that. We can't be doing this anymore. But the Academy, frankly, gets things wrong so often. But our number one, you guys know what, hello, you know where I'm going with this. How do you not know what our number one here is tonight? It's only our number one film of 2025. And yet, the Academy didn't deem it worthy of one of the 5 international features, let alone Best Picture, not even international feature. Are you fucking kidding me? No, we are not. We're the Academy. We don't know what we're doing. No other choice, without any doubt, is the biggest snub of today. It's beyond anything that I can comprehend. You know, you talk about, we've already gone through, right? Let's go look at the best pictures, and I can tell you which films this is better than. And by the way, it's going to be virtually all of them because it's our number one film of the year. So, hello, you don't think that I'm going to have this ahead of virtually everything? Give me 1 second. I got to find it here. Best picture, casting, animated is at the end. It's probably at the very end. It's under P. It doesn't have best. It's under P. No, it is under best picture. They just put it at the end. This is the Academy. All right, here we go. We've got, obviously, Begonia. No problem with that. That's in F1 Love Scene. We talked about it this morning. Very happy to have that there. Frankenstein, it was kind of guaranteed. Netflix has to get at least 1 or 2 in here, and they did. GDT does not get a director, which is fine. He's been there, done that. I don't mind, although I told you guys this morning, for me, Chloe Zhao's out. Chloe Zhao and Hamnet across the board is out. I mean, Hamnet's our next film here. No other choice buries Hamnet. I mean, guys, they're different films. Duh. But every level of screenplay, I would argue even performances, the Buckley's very good. But performances, editing, cinematography, direction, no other choice is a better film. No contest. Okay, so Hamnet's out. Marty Supreme's in. It's one of our top 10 films of the year. One Battle, for me, is below. No other choice. Secret Agent, below. No other choice. Sentimental Value, I would say below, but not. It's close. Like, Sentimental Value is one of our favorite films of the year, so it's up there. And it's good to see it so represented so well here today when the Academy came out and gave that film its just due. Sinners, I have no other choice ahead of Sinners and Train Dreams, a film that we didn't hate, and give it an A-, B+ on that. It's got some great elements, you know, the production, the cinematography is the number one thing on that. But those are our top 5 snubs it's very clear. I'm sure you guys have some other ones here tonight. Thanks for being here live on MMT. They hate Park Chan because he worked during the writer's strike. You know what's wild, if that's true, Mud Style? I mean, no, I'm not arguing. I don't even know. Listen, honestly, I don't know if that's true. I'm going to assume you put it in there. It is true. Is that I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to penalize someone for that. Listen, it gets back to what we always talk about all the time. It gets back to being objective, okay? And objectively, you have to be able to get all of the baggage out of the way, right? Even if I hate a film, like let's look at Sinners, a film that I'm completely think is one of the most overvalued films we've had in many, many, many years, especially with all the 16 nominations here today. When you look at it, Ryan Coogler is still, I think, a very talented director. Go back to Fruitvale, go back to Creed, look at what he's been able to do, okay? But here's what I'm going to tell you is, whatever happens next, whatever he does off the field, I'm going to watch that film as a film. I'm not going to worry about any of the off the field stuff. You talk about Jonathan Majors, who should have been up for at least some Best Actor award this year. No one wanted to go there. It was one of the best performances of the year in Magazine Dreams. No contest. So you have to be able to get that stuff out of there. We're only talking about the product that's on the screen. We're not talking about what Park did during the writer's strike, you gotta let that shit go. You've got to say, listen, here's the deal. This is great. I talk about all the time. How many people I drag on here? All the shills I drag. You talk about a fantasy. You talk about an Eric Davis. If one of these people that I drag all the time made a movie that was great, and I saw it, and I was objective because I'm going to be fair about it, I would come on here and say, listen, I still think they're a shill, but this movie is wow. You see, that's what you have to have the ability to do, is to not carry a grudge around. You can't let that enter into this. Unfortunately, that's not reality, okay? That is not what the average person does when it comes to voting. They go, well, what about this person from, what they did in the past? Like a Jonathan Majors. And listen, again, two different things. Jonathan Majors, what he did allegedly and or admittedly to the woman versus his performance in Magazine Dreams, right? These are two separate things. We talk about it all the time when we go back and do it again because it's very simple. If you know pro wrestling, Chris Benoit, greatest technical wrestler of all time, arguably, but he also killed his wife and his kid. Okay? Right? Heinous, technical god. You see, I know that I understand this is right. Most people would never say what I'm saying because it's very dangerous, but it's not dangerous. You're able to split and say, here are the two things. And I don't have a problem with that. And if you have a problem with that, I don't care. You think I fucking care? I don't care. I'll do what I want to do. It's my channel, and I think what I'm doing is absolutely dead on. If anyone listens to that, they go, that's really smart. And I also like the fact this guy is straight up opinionated, fearless, and is not going to kowtow to all the wannabe, oh God, I'm offended. I don't give a shit if you're offended. Hit the road. Honestly, it means nothing to me. So at the end of the day, you have to be able to remain as non-dog in the fight as possible. I want quotes on that for me, okay? That is mine. I'm going to use that for I know there's certainly a shorter way to say that, but I like that. To be as non-dog in the fight as possible. And by the way, that is a hyphen in between non-dog in the fight. Don't think I know how to write, okay? I'm not fantasy. Did you ever read some of his tweets? It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? We're not going to try to say Benoit's long gone. What a tragedy. I'm not going to get into that, but there's all kinds of YouTube videos. You're going to go watch the story of Chris Benoit. I've seen a bunch of different documentaries. It's pretty crazy stuff. I mean, bottom line is you take so many shots to your head over your career. His finishing move was the flying headbutt. So he'd go off the top rope, and a lot of guys would fake that or kind of go down. He goes down full on. It's like wham. Like, dude, sooner or later you're going to take so many shots with a chair, with a flying headbutt, that you're going to have CTE, and that's and then you do things like Chris Benoit did. But as a wrestler, one of the greatest of all time, right? 100%. All right, let's get ready to do our evaluation. I'm going to get back to as many as possible. Tonight's stream's going to be pretty tight. I wanted to get to our top 5 snubs, and I wanted to do Mercy tonight because I did see it the other night. We only had the short little thing out of theater, so I think we need to do a full MMT evaluation. It's going to be tight. I mean, this is not a great film. You guys, we're talking about January. Now, this is the weakest of the films I've seen so far this year, but I still don't hate the film. Okay, let's talk about Mercy. Chris Pratt in a Minority Report ripoff. Here's 30 seconds to set you up. Let's do this live.
I'm not guilty.
You have 90 minutes to prove your innocence,
or you will be executed. The clock is ticking.
I need to find out who killed my wife.
The clock is ticking.
Let's walk the scene.
The clock is ticking.
There's got to be a reason.
The clock is ticking.
Go, 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 go!
The clock is ticking.
Officer down!
The clock is ticking.
No, I have something here.
This is a chance for you to clear your name, if you believe you can.
Mercy, rated PG-13.
Okay, so we saw this back on Monday. I saw it in IMAX 3D. Should you see it in IMAX 3D? No, you do not need to see this film in 3D. I think it does a nice job as it's a screen time film, right? What's that mean? You go back and you look at, I think, one of the better screen time films. If you want to watch one, it's called Profile. It came out during COVID. It's about ISIS, and it's dark. And it's really well done. Same director of that film that did this film, so it makes sense why they brought him on board, because all the action's taking place in the chair as Chris Pratt's character is accused of killing his wife, and he's in front of the AI judge, just like I said off the top, in this poor man's Minority Report. I mean, very poor man's. I'm just saying, to get your head in the space for Mercy, just think of a really diluted version of the Spielberg masterpiece, sci-fi masterpiece, no question about it, Minority Report, okay? So you've got that going on, which is thumbs up, thumbs down. I like the idea, right, of this guy that has all these resources in front of him from all the cameras and all of the AI information to clear his name in 90 minutes. So it's a gimmick film, right? You're counting down, and this is how long the film is, real time. It's got a high gloss finish. I don't really like that. You see it in the trailer. I understand why it looks the way it looks. I just want it to be a little grittier. I am such a big grader on aesthetic, and it's fine for this film. I understand why it's there. I just don't like films that even look like this. I want my films to look rough and tough and gritty and buffed out. Not buffed out, like completely like sanded. I want the shit to look just real. And I think this film definitely doesn't look like that. And then you get back to all of that kind of playing together between this like not so great Minority Report, a high gloss kind of thing. And then you've got Chris Pratt. And let's talk about Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is very good at being the wise ass, right? Kind of dim wise ass, like we've seen him do in so many roles. And when he's not doing that, like in a Moneyball, or you go and you look at Zero Dark 30, it's a small role. So he doesn't have much screen time where he doesn't get a chance to be the dim-witted smartass, right? Okay, so that is an issue when he's in the chair for 90 minutes and is part of the movie virtually every second. You start to see the cracks of Chris Pratt as a dramatic actor. So that is problematic here as well. I mean, again, none of this is the point where I think it's an unwatchable film. It's just not great. I mean, did you expect it to be great? Of course not. There's an absurd third act when you get the reveal of who actually killed the wife and why they did it, and then you see the chase and the explosions, and that's where I start to check out, right? I always say, give me something more controlled, give me something more interior, and this film is exterior, and I just want things that are smaller, and I'm not going to get that at a film like Mercy. Duh. So going in, I'm already going to be probably not so high on it. I'm going to give it a 65%. That's not great. Obviously, you guys know that's like a D plus. I'm going to go thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me tell you why. Because some people will watch this film and say, it's fine. It's inoffensive. I was sort of engaged. And then the rest of you are going to see what I said, and you're going to say, you know, why'd I bother? So it's really one of those, if you have nothing to do, if you're bored out of your mind, it's January, you don't want to watch NFL playoffs, then guess what? Go see Mercy. Just know you're going to be underwhelmed, okay? There's the MMT evaluation. All right, let's go ahead and do this right now. Let's do the comment blast closeout here tonight because it's going to be a short one. I got up so early today that I said to myself, listen, I will do a stream, but it's going to be like 30 minutes. And then at 30 minutes, I'm going to yank the cord and we're going to be out of here because I need to get to sleep. I need to just stop talking. I just sat through 4 hours of, 4 hours of The Two Towers. And let me tell you, if you haven't seen that film since 02, 03, whenever it came out, you're talking about 20 some odd years. You need to go see Two Towers. It's the best of 3 films, and Helm's Deep is, for my money, the greatest cinematic battle sequence in the history of movies. It's so great. And I'm very, very happy with my choice to see that film before it leaves. It is still available to you, by the way, at select theaters, and I highly recommend you check that out. Let's go and get our Comment Plus closeout started here with Super Chat. Jason, thanks this morning, by the way, for those, and tonight as well. Been a long day here at MMT, but we are dedicated. And we even snuck in a 4-hour movie in between. No Other Choice is the most egregious snub for Academy Awards nominations this year. A heinous crime, categorically the best film of 2025. Listen, there's a reason why you watch MMT. We have it as our number one. You knew that we would. I mean, we get these things right. Listen, at the end of the day, there's no one in this space who's better. No one. I don't care who you throw out. There's no one. It's not a contest, okay? And I know that we are on the right side of history on virtually every single film we've ever called. Very few errors, and you're going to bring up, don't even say Ant-Man 3. Don't do it, guys. Just don't tonight. Can you just not say Ant-Man 3? It's a goof film. I goofed with it, okay? Steve, nice to see Delroy Lindo get a nod. Thank you, sir. But thanks for being here this morning, by the way, too. Some of you were here at like 5:30 here in Los Angeles. I was barely awake. The computer went down. I had to go to the other room, get my other mic out, and rig the thing together, MacGyver style, and we got it going. But yeah, Delroy Lindo is a legend, really. I mean, you talk about a guy who's been around, had a really long career in Hollywood. They reward that, Steve. At the end of the day, if it's between Delroy and an up-and-coming actor, you're going to go with the seasoned vet who doesn't get all the accolades all the time, and it's just a feel-good kind of thing. Now, listen, as I say that, I never want to go feel-good over someone more deserving, but if you view both things as being equal, then you go with the one that makes you feel better, of course. Or for me, right, if you're stuck between two performances and you think they're both very good, then what I want you to do is say which one has the higher degree of difficulty. And whichever one that is, that's who you're going to go with. And so you go back and you look at Cate Blanchett, Tar. How did that not win? You got a high degree of difficulty. You've got a screenplay, one of the best we've seen in the 2000s. Overall, as a film, I'd argue a masterpiece or very close to it. And yet she doesn't win. And it's a lifetime kind of achievement in that film. She's that good. Someone asked me this morning, would you take her there or in Blue Jasmine? Because obviously she won for that back in 2014. Oh, Tar. It's her crowning achievement, and yet she doesn't win. You want to make sure that you win for your best performance. You talk about Leo DiCaprio. His best performance is Wolf of Wall Street. So he won for Revenant. That's not how you want to get it done. That's why, listen, we can argue about Timothée Chalamet all day. I still think there's definitely room to grow, but he is Marty Supreme. He was built for that role. It was written for him. He delivers that role. It is his Oscar. Now, going forward, we can have that conversation, but this year, Timothée Chalamet is, in my estimation, the clear Best Actor winner. It's definitely over Leo because, again, One Battle is not even Leo's best performance. I wouldn't even put it in his top 5, so we can't be doing that. I like Marty Supreme overall. Gwyneth is still... Listen, can we... Steve, listen. I was going to, make this short. You start talking about Gwyneth Paltrow, I'll go, for an hour. She is so fucking hot. Seriously. Listen, Gwyneth Paltrow, at her age, 50, right? She is banging. If she wasn't married, listen, I have space for Elizabeth Olsen. I would definitely have space for Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, no question about it. And in this film, she looks great. I love the role. It's nice to see her back. Some people are like, well, she has goop. We don't like her and all this. Just stop. She's hot. So don't be jealous because she's hot. Thank you again. Steve, too many. Stop, Steve. Stop. Will you be brave? Yeah, thank you. Paul Mescal, not brave enough. Will you be brave? Will you be brave? God, man. Hamnet. Oh, God. No to Hamnet. I like Leo Gilbert. Yeah, what's eating Gilbert? Great. You know, you talk about The Aviator. You talk about, dude, I mean, how many great performances out of Leo DiCaprio have we gotten over the years? I mean, Killers of the Flower Moon. Okay. So it's not like he hasn't been here before, but Leo's always going to be here. You know, you talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, guys, listen, this is not his best performance. It's not even his top 5. Again, like I said, Growing Pains. That's good. Yeah, I know, going way back. Kurt Cameron and what was the other girl's name? God, what was her name? The daughter, Erin someone. No, help me. Oh, my God. Rachel McAdams, by the way, Luis. I'm going to see Send Help on Saturday. So if you're up there, I'll see you. I'm going to see Send Help. They have early screenings of Send Help. I'm going to do a short, like a YouTube short reaction, a minute or so, and then we'll do the full evaluation on Sunday night for Send Help. It opens next week. If you want to see that film early, Saturday, there are screenings all across our great country. So if you want to see it, go for it. Revenant wasn't even, no, that's why I said it's not because what I'm saying. You know, he wins for that. And it's not his best. Right, you want to. That's what I'm saying. Listen, there's a lot of discussion about Timothée Chalamet. Again, if you're gonna give one to Chalamet, this is it. This is the time. Do it now, and then we can have that conversation again. Because again, I'm not sold 100% on Chalamet. I've told you guys. You look at Wonka; it's not a great performance. It's not zany enough. But I think you look at Marty Supreme. It is exactly what was required, and Josh wrote it for him. And he is the character, and he delivers it. It's a winner. It's a winner. It's that simple. It really is. Get Shorty, going back to, what was that, 2000 what? Was that in the late 90s or 2000s? Every time you're starting to get like late 90s, 2000s, everything bleeds. I was thinking about Lord of the Rings, like, what year was that? 03, yeah, right? It all kind of bleeds. Minority Report was right around 2003, right? It was a good time, man. Movies were like banging between 2005, 2010. Listen, Tarantino had it right. 2019 might have been our last real year of movies, right? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say that. I mean, like, I'm talking about when they really had that impact, because there's a lot of people that don't love Sinners like me, and they're like, how did this film get 16 nominations? I mean, listen, we've had a discussion. I'm not going to have it again tonight, but we know why, one of the reasons why. And listen, anytime that you're going to have representation, you're going to have a lot of attention on your film, more than you would if you don't. I mean, that's the reality. I mean, let's just face facts. It's true. And you still have to deliver, and I don't think Sinners, listen, I told you guys, it's a kitchen sink film. There's too much going on in that film, and Ryan tried to do way too much with the script, and I don't think it works. I just don't. And same with One Battle. I'm not just picking on Ryan, I'm picking on that, picking on weapons. They all have the same thing in common, right? They all are too much in one film. And again, I just want to see one. That's it. I want to see one tone. If you're going to do two tones, you better make that secondary tone very light. I want a light spray job. I do not want it layered on thick. So that's the issue, right? When you're trying to do the drama and the comedy so heavy on both of those, one of them's going to suffer. And you see it all the time in horror, right? Horror's supposed to be scary, and then you have the goofy horror, and the goofy jokes, and it ruins it. So again, if you're going to write something, make it a comedy, layer the drama in. If you're going to do a drama, layer the comedy light. Do not throw it on like tons of dressing or a dipping sauce, okay? Make it light, a light glaze. And unfortunately, we just don't get that often. The writing in this town is not as great as it used to be. We know that. All right, guys, that's it. 33 minutes tonight. By the way, I'm not a Freemason, so don't. Someone got that out there. It wasn't by design. This is exactly just the natural stopping point tonight. We'll be back on Sunday with the box office show in the morning, and then at night, Send Help and other topics that are going on. Maybe we'll look ahead to the calendar, because we haven't done that yet. Most anticipated of the year. A lot of stuff on Sunday night. Thanks for being here. I'm off to bed. It's been a long day. Hope you enjoyed the coverage here on MMT tonight and this morning, and we'll see you back here next time from the City of Angels. Peace out.